Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. In today's video, I'm going to be taking you on a shopping trip with me so you can see the things I get every week, you know, my real staple ingredients for all of my recipes. It is Saturday, so I'm hoping it's not going to be super busy in Asda because then I'm probably not going to end up filming anything in there. So if not, then we'll just cut straight to showing you all my shopping, I guess. So yeah, let's get going. As I expected, the supermarket was way too busy to try and film in. First, I'll show you the two items I bought from Holland & Barrett, as I couldn't get them in the supermarket. This is the milk I get, Oatly Organic. This is specifically the long life one, as it doesn't contain oil, and oil doesn't really agree with me. I always like to keep cacao in the cupboard because it's so much healthier than cocoa powder, and I'm an absolute chocolate addict. At the supermarket, I bought raspberries to have with my yoghurt in the morning. And I also bought strawberries for the same reason. I like to have mushrooms with my eggs in the morning, but I also sometimes have them with an omelette as well. This is just some baby leaf salad. It's a butterhead, chard and spinach mix. Red peppers, I love to have them with salads or in omelettes. I usually like to have courgette in my salad, but I thought I'd have cucumber this week. Tuna and spring water, which I usually have on salads. I thought I'd also have some sweet corn on my salads this week. Bananas for a lot of snacks and smoothies, and I also use them in baking as well. I got some feta cheese because it's seriously just the best, it elevates every meal. I've not had salmon for ages because it's got so expensive, but I was really craving it. I wouldn't recommend this one though, but it's all I had. I'm absolutely in love with this coconut yogurt. It's not very healthy, but it's so tasty. Eggs, because, well, eggs. I got cannellini beans because I want to make baked beans next week, and I'll have a recipe for that coming soon. I got some mixed beans so I can make my barbecue beans recipe and get some better photos of it. I actually haven't had this one for ages. I got some Savoy cabbage to make some cabbage chips because they're a really good alternative to normal crisps. I got some green lentil pasta. Lots of gluten-free pastas aren't very nice, but this one is pretty much identical to normal pasta. I got some potatoes. I've always got to keep them topped up because I eat a lot of potatoes. Onions weren't on my list, but I always need onions, so I bought one just in case. Broccoli, one of my favourite veggies. I got a whole chicken because I'm going to roast it tonight, have some for dinner, and then have the rest on salads throughout the week. I got some orange juice. Usually I'll stick to water or tea during the day, but I fancied a bit of a change. Some nuts for snacking on. Salt and pepper, absolute essentials. And an avocado. I'll be showing you a tasty recipe with this in a bit. I had to go to a third shop for this. So I've done my shopping, you've seen me put it all away and you know everything like that. So as you saw on the end, there was an avocado. Now it's a very special avocado, not just because it cost me £2 whole, but because we're going to make a really yummy treat with it. So let's get everything set up for that and I will show you what we are making. Okay guys, so now I am ready to start my recipe, and today's recipe is chocolate avocado muffins, which is once on my website. If you want to see the written down recipe, then go and have a look in the description, I'll leave a link there. So that's what we need our avocado for. And that's what we're going to start with actually as well. Now I hope this avocado is ripe because I have a really horrible feeling it's not. Feeling a little squishy, and for £2 I want this to be the best avocado I've eaten in my life. Oh, that's alright, we can live with that. So for this recipe you need to mash your avocado into a bowl and then weigh out, well not weigh out, but measure out half a cup. So we're going to do that before we do anything else. I always feel like I'm going to knock something into my hand when I do that. not the smoothest avocado evacuation. Would that be the right word? Avocado evacuation, maybe? I don't know. But yeah, not the prettiest avocado I've ever seen. But we're going to obviously be swishing it up and then blending it with the other wet ingredients anyway, so it doesn't need to look pretty. Now, am I going to need the other half? This avocado was a bit bigger than the ones I normally get. Alright, here I've got my measurer. It's just half a cup. Now in this recipe, the avocado replaces any need for butter, which is what makes these so good. Because in a normal muffin recipe, they'd be like, I think it might taste something like 1,000 calories worth of butter. And in here there's only 150? No, it might be more than that. I was trying to do the math there in my head. I'm not very good at math. So, we do kind of need a little bit more than that, unfortunately. Right, so we're going to call that half a cup, and into the blender it goes. And then we also need, for this recipe, half a cup of milk. Now we can use any milk. As you can see here, I use specifically the Oatly organic long life milk because it doesn't contain any oil, which I explained earlier. And I like it. So this is the milk that I use. So half a cup of that as well into the blender. So next into the blender we are going to add 2 eggs. Now as you can see here I cracked them off camera because, and you'll know this already if you follow me on Instagram, for some reason I am horrifically bad at cracking eggs. Like I literally can't do it. And I don't know why. It really shouldn't be a difficult exercise, but there you go. And in we go, our eggs. No need to beat them at first or anything because they're about to get completely blitzed in the blender anyway. And then finally for this recipe you need 3/4 of a cup of maple syrup, and that is going to be our sweetener in the recipe. However, I don't actually have any maple syrup, so we're using So now that we've got our blended wet ingredients, we're going to leave them there for a minute and we're going to mix together our dry ingredients. So to start with, we're going to use 1 cup of plain flour. Now I am doing a bit of a elimination diet at the moment to find out why my tummy is always so bloated. So I'm using gluten-free flour and I have literally no idea how this is going to turn out, so it might be a complete flop. And if it is, I'm going to be blaming the flour because they're usually amazing. But we'll find out anyway. Okay, there's 1 cup of flour. And then we need 1 teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda. And then we need 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, but I'm just going to do a heaped teaspoon because I'm being lazy and we're really running out of light here. So next we need 1/2 cup of cacao, and I'm going to use my new packet that I got earlier because my old one literally has about a teaspoon's worth in it, so it's not worth even bothering with. So that's our cacao. And now if you're not already familiar with cacao, it is not the same as cocoa. If you're using cocoa instead in this recipe, you want to change the amount of syrup that you use as your sweetener from 3/4 of a cup to 1/2 cup. Now cacao, in difference to cocoa, is completely unsweetened. It is like the natural version of cocoa, sort of like before it's been processed and everything like that and turned into cocoa powder. And also these are cacao nibs, which I think are basically just the unpowdered form of cacao. And this is what we're going to be using as chocolate chips. Now these are slightly old, I would admit, they are slightly outdated, but it's fine. We don't worry about things like that here. And we want a 1/4 cup of these, or thereabouts. I mean, they're literally optional, like if you want chocolate chips in it, put them in. If you don't, then don't. If you want to put fruit in it, put fruit in it. And then I'm just going to give that all a mix up. I still can't believe I managed to not film the first part of this recipe with all the ingredients. I'm now just like being paranoid and constantly checking around the back of the camera to check that it's actually recording. So just to clarify again, this is an avocado that has been previously mashed and then weighed out, or measured out rather, into half a cup of milk, 2 eggs, and 3/4 of a cup of maple syrup. So that's going to go in there now. I hope I've got enough room in this bowl. So we're going to mix that in now, and yeah, it might look a bit unappealing when it's bright green, but once it's mixed in with all the powder, then it doesn't look any different to normal chocolate muffin. So I'm already noticing that this mixture is way thicker than it usually would be when I'd use normal non-gluten-free flour. So I might add in a teeny tiny splash of milk, but we'll see. Haven't quite decided. So I've just added another little squirt of syrup and a little splash of milk, and now it is looking much more like you would expect from brown. Right, so now we've got a cupcake tin with liners in. Oh, I'm actually too short. I didn't realise that was running out, so I might just end up with really big muffins. I've just checked the servings on my recipe and it's meant to only make 10 anyway, so I guess it's a happy coincidence that I'm short on cupcake cases. Okay, so now they're going to go into the oven for 25 to 30 minutes at about 180 degrees Celsius. Hi guys, so it's the next day now. It got too dark last night to film anything after I'd taken the avocado muffins out of the oven, but as I said whilst I was making them, it could end up being a massive flop because I use gluten-free flour. Now the reality was that that was indeed a massive flop because I tried them this morning and they were legitimately the worst thing ever. So I'm going to insert a little clip of that right now. I don't know if you can really see that very well because the lighting's not perfect in here, but it's very, very dense. So I'll give it a taste test. It's very dry. Yeah, that is not a winner at all. That's horrible. But I then remade them with some different quantities of different things. I went online and I spoke to some people that knew better and they said add an extra egg or add this or add that. So I did just that. I added an extra egg. I used maple syrup because I actually went out and bought some maple syrup instead of honey because I didn't know if that really had any impact or not. It probably didn't, but just to be on the safe side, I went out and I got maple syrup just in case. So let's give these a taste test. They feel so much better, so they should be a lot nicer. I'm filming this at a bit of an awkward angle, so hopefully it looks okay. As you can see, the muffins are a little bit flatter than I would usually expect them to be. But they're made without flour and they're made without butter, so you can't expect them to be as good as a traditional muffin recipe. But already they're looking 1,000 times better. They're a little bit crumbly, but that's kind of the case with the traditional avocado muffin recipe anyway. Let's give these a break in half. They feel amazing. Oh, look at that. Let's see if I can get this to focus. There we go. This looks so much better. Let's give it a taste test. Oh my god. They're even better than the original avocado muffins. They are so moist and so fluffy. The only difference between the original is in the photo of the original is I actually added some little chocolate chips on top to make them look, you know, really aesthetic and nice for the photo. Whereas these obviously don't have the chocolate chips on top. But oh my god, they're amazing. You have to try these. I thought it was going to take a few attempts to fix this recipe for gluten-free, but this is on point. I'll put a little recipe card up now of all the ingredients. And then I'll also put in the description a link to the gluten-free version of this recipe, because I'm going to get that on the website straight away, I think. So I just sat down quickly with my lunch. It's a really super quick lunch because I'm going to go meet my friend in a minute for a really nice long dog walk and I just don't have time to prepare anything. So let me know. This is what I've got. just literally just some chicken, plain chicken in some lettuce wraps. How boring. So let me know in the comments down below what your favourite super quick lunch is for when you're in a rush. Something that you could like take on the go, or something that you can literally just like pop in your mouth and then run out the door. Because I definitely need to up my lunch game. But that is the end of this video. If you liked it, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel so that you see what's next. It also really, really helps my channel to grow if you subscribe rather than watching unsubscribed. So that is the end of this video, and I can't wait to see you for the next one. Bye!